Hey y'all, in today's video I'm going to be doing my first official fall set. It's really simple, but I'm going to jazz it up with some 3D flowers, some nail art, and some fall colors. So to start this set off, she came in and I already soaked off her nails, went and did my natural nail prep, applied her tips, and then I cut those tips into shape, and then we're starting here. After I dehydrated her and primed her nail plates twice, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a clear base. Now on this middle finger is going to be a darker color, so that's why I'm adding the clear. But then on the ring finger, I'm going to be doing an ombre. And anytime I do ombre, I always add a clear base because I want to make sure that that space is going to be completely smooth. So when I come in and blend, I won't have to worry about it being uneven if you didn't blend your tip right or anything, just to be sure I add that clear base. So as you can see, I started that bead at the center of the nail, and now I'm just going to walk that bead down. I'm going to blend that through the tip, and then I'm going to allow it to dry, and then I'll come back with my nude and finish off the ombre. So on this one, I'm going to come in with that GlamandGlits color, and I'm going to apply my first bead. I'm going to walk that bead down, and I'm going to make sure that I have those sides tucked in. Like I said, in my application video, when you apply your acrylic, this is the most crucial part in how your nails are going to come out. You have to make sure that your application is nice and clean. So like I said, I'm going to apply that color, and I'm going to keep an eye on my sides. I'm going to make sure that I'm smoothing that bead out. Once I have that majority done, I'm going to come in with my cuticle bead, and then I will blend that through. Now once I've placed that bead by the cuticle, I'm being very gentle with my brush strokes. I'm taking that bead and I'm just going behind it, and I'm showing it where it needs to go. I'm basically patting that into place. Now once I've done that, I'll come in and just smooth it out through the body. Now I'm not too worried about it being opaque there in the center, because that's where I'm going to come in with my flower. So I'm just making sure that I'm smoothing it out and I'm having that color blended. And I'm sorry, I don't have a name for this nude color. It's one of my self mixes. I like to mix and match a bunch of my acrylics, so this is just a nude color that I mixed up myself. y'all, I almost had a perfect one bead application. Yeah, right. I went in, as you can see, I got a little dent there from my thumb, got in the way of my perfect application. But I'm gonna go in, I'm trying to smooth it out, see if I can save it in. It ain't working. So I'm gonna have to go in, apply a small bead, and then when it comes to filing, just hope and pray that it looks okay. So on this pointer finger, you can see that it's the only nail with a clear tip. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. So what I ended up doing was taking that nude and clear, and I tried to marble it. And towards the end, I was like looking at it and I was like, you can't even tell that I did a marble. So stuff like that happens to me all the time. I just be trying and doing stuff, and sometimes it comes out right, sometimes it doesn't. Now, it didn't look bad, but it wasn't what I intended. So going on with this marble nail, I ended up taking some gold flakes and basically just bordering that marble design. Now I'm also going to come in with some copper flakes, and for the life of me, I do not know where I got them from, but the gold ones I got from Michael's, but these copper ones, I'm not sure. Once I have that border done, I'm going to come in with some fall leaves, and I got these from my local nail supply store, but I just went in and added gold and brown. So for the thumb, I decided to do a glitter fade, and I'm going to come in and I'm using multiple glitters. I'm using a chocolate glitter and then a gold glitter and then a copper glitter. And what I'll do is I'll take a clear bead and just dab it directly into the raw glitter and then onto the nail. So once I've done that, I'm going to come in with my nude color and basically ombre that into that glitter. So for the thumb, I'm going to come in with my nude and I'm going to start my ombre. Now, once I applied that nude and started blending it down, that glitter kind of kicked up onto my nude because my glitter wasn't dry. What I should have done is I should have applied my glitter first, allowed it to dry, and then come back and apply my nude. But, you know, I came to this thumb not knowing what I was going to do, and it was my last finger. So just keep that in mind. When you're using glitters, apply your glitter, allow it to dry, and then come back and cap it or ombre it or do whatever you need to do. Because as you know, you apply glitter more wet, so it needs longer time to set up and dry. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to come in and cap this thumb, and anytime that I'm doing a glitter or a glass nail, I always use wet beads. Now the reason you use a wet bead is because you want maximum clarity, right? You want it to be as clear as it can be. So if you pick up a medium set bead, the chances are is that you're going to get air bubbles. You're going to get dry pockets of the powder in the clear. So you don't want that. So make sure that you're picking up a wet bead. So to start my finish filing, I'm going to come in with my safety bit, and the first thing I'm going to focus on is her cuticle area. I want to make sure that I have that nice and flushed, and then if I see any unevenness or bumps, I'll come through the body and smooth it out also with this bit. Once I've done that, I'm going to come in with my hand file and I'm going to give them shape. So I'm going to start my 3D flower, and from the jump I'm going to tell you guys, you're going to see me jump back and forth from petal to petal. Now the reason why is because the most important thing when you're creating 3D art is that you have to allow the bead to go semi-dry. You don't want it all the way dry, but you do want it semi-dry because that means it's going to be easier for you to mold. You're going to be able to create the shape that you want. Now that that center bead has had time to set up, I'm going to come back and use just the tip of my brush and poke holes into that center. So this is going to be the middle of the flower. the first step in creating my petal, I'm going to take a small bead, place it and form it into a ball, but then I'm going to take the tip of my brush and just drag it up. So I'm basically creating a teardrop shape. So to start my petal, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to position it to where the tip of that brush is pointed towards the center of the flower. Now once I have it in position, I'm going to lightly press down into the center of the petal. Once I have it in that position, I'm going to start making my indentation even more by just moving my brush from side to side, and that's basically going to puff out your petal. Now as I'm doing this, I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping the definition of the teardrop shape that we want the petal to be in. So you have to come through and constantly make sure that that leaf has that tip. And from a better angle, I'm going to come through the center of the petal, and from that center point I'm going to press from side to side, and it's what's going to puff out your petal. And just to add a little something, we're going to do some diamonds on her pinky, and I'm going to use my Ugly Duckling Stick It, and then my Swarovskis in Crystal AB, and then Golden Shadow. I'm coming in with my Young Nails stain resistant top coat, and I should have top coated the flower nail first, but you know, stuff happens. So I'm being extra careful just to get around that flower and not to get any on it. But after that, she is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this fall set. I really look forward to doing more warm colors. I'm kind of over all the brights and the neons. I'm ready for dark colors. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, you want to see me do anything, please let me know. Leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And thank you for watching.